Good morning, traders. Good afternoon and good evening. Right, so welcome, guys, to the new year 2024, and welcome once again to a Trading Waves Market Weekly Analysis, where we'll be looking at the instrument, what is expected going forward. Right, so I wish you guys a very peaceful 2024. Right, so guys, if you've got any inquiries regarding any of our services, you should know what to do now. If you go on our YouTube page, which is Trading Waves, right? So this is our YouTube page. If you go there, especially on our weekly analysis that the free weekly analysis that we give out, when you click there, you are going to get our contact details there. So you will see that we've got our email address there. If you've got any inquiries regarding any of our services, you can just email us there at info at trading-waves.com. We've got also got our contact numbers. That's myself and Victor that you will see, you will reach out there on WhatsApp. You can also join our free Telegram channel. We do post now and then we will post like updates regarding our services or any charts that are about to play out. You can also follow us on our social media pages, both on Facebook and also on our Twitter pages for any of our work, or if you want to reference our work there. Right, so without wasting any time, let's get started and let's have a look what is expected in the market. I know a lot of people have been asking when are we coming back? Like we've indicated on our last session that we will resume on the weekend of the 14th of Jan. So we will be looking at the markets going forward. We will promise to give you these updates every week. Right, so let's look at the DXY. So the DXY, the idea still remain the same. If you have been following us, you will remember that we have been talking about this, that the DXY still needs to complete this structure there. There's nothing that has changed. We are still looking for the DXY to still trade lower here. In one of the weekly analysis, we did say that we expect that the DXY might trade below the 100 here, or it can even get to as far as somewhere around the $94 before we can see a big move to the up side. So we are still looking at that strategy to play out, but obviously the elephant in the room is somewhere around this area here. So we have to look what are the possibilities that we have here on a DXY. Obviously, I'm expecting that this should drop to the downside. Yeah, this is what I would love to see, but obviously I can't run away from the possibility that we could be having this one to be just a 5-wave move that is just completed here. So we could be having this one to have been our 1 year wave 2, a 3 here, this to be now wave 4, and we have this to be our wave 5. If that's the case, that will mean we must expect that we are going to see at least a little bit of a move to the upside. Yeah, we've gotten this one to be a move to the upside. Yeah, there is still this possibility that we must still get this one drop lower here against this swing low here. Then we get this move to the upside before we can get a drop. Why that move to the upside? I'm simply looking at this, that we could be completing this 3-wave move structure. Remember that I've just said that if this is a 5-wave move, there's another way that this can play out. We could be having this here to be a nest that is playing out here, only to find out that this is our wave 1, this is our wave 2, that we get this one to drop. This is the one that I want to see to play out, see playing out here. But obviously, structurally, it might give us a 3-wave move bounce. If it's time for a bigger correction here, this being our wave 1, then we could be having this to be a 3-wave move, our wave 2, before we can get this one to drop. Obviously, the key level here it is this. As long as the market is still trading below this swing high here, we will be looking any pullback in 3711 swing that we are going to see a move to the downside. So we get this pullback here, we're looking for a bearish move, or this is going to drop from here. If it drop from here, take this swing low here, then we'll start to look for this pullback from here, and then we look for more bearish move to the down side. Right, so obviously the Euro US dollar it is inversely correlated to the DXY. If we are expecting the DXY to make a move to the downside, that will mean the Euro US dollar we are expecting it to make a move to the upside. I want to see this making a move to the upside from here, but obviously we could also be having this just like what we are seeing on the DXY, that this is being your 5-wave move to the upside already here, and it's time for a bigger correction. If it's time for a bigger correction, expect something like that. This might drop from here before we see a move to the upside, or it might just be a three-wave move started in my blood like this a year before we can see a move to the upside. It's a bit very correctively around this area here. So it is very likely that one more leg lower, it might not be a surprise that we've got this one to have dropped here, and then we simply get this one to be a three-way move strategy is complete. We get this one more leg. Once we get this one more leg lower here, then we will be looking for more buying opportunity to the upside on the euro US dollar. So we're just waiting to see clear three-way move structure as a pullback, and then we look for a buy. Pound US dollar, we've been talking about this one here that we are expecting to see a move to the upside. Yeah, now against this swing low here, I'm looking for any three-wave move pullback. Once we get a clear three-wave move start, we can even get something like this, then we would be looking for this move to the upside. So there are many ways this can pull back as long as it's still around this area, yeah, because this could even be something like this three-wave move lower, yeah, pull back in another three-wave move, and then we see another three-wave move structure, and then we form a WXY. But we don't just we can't just focus this yeah, this could be already a three-wave move structure here that plays out somewhere around this area. Yeah, well, let me just zoom into this. We could have this one here to be just a three-wave move structure that has already completed here, this being a flat corrective structure yet. This might be done. We get this move to the upside yet. But if it does, for whatever reason, this just dropped lower here, only to further that we're having this is a three-wave move structure here, then somewhere around this area here, we will be looking for the buy at the equal legs of this here on the pound US dollar. But if it breaks above this here, we are expecting to see more continuation move to the upper side. Alright, so your US dollar chief, I've shown this one a couple of times. You can also refer to our social media pages that how we have been selling this a year from these highs. We have been looking for a short. We've got this drop. We're simply looking for pullbacks. We're looking for this drop lower. Yeah. Uh, if you can refer on the website on our social media pages, you will see that our first trade execution was somewhere around this area here. We're simply looking at this three-wave move structure. It dropped lower here. Again, when we got around this area here, we saw another three-wave move structure here. This was let me show you this. This is where we had this trade set up on the US dollar chief because we knew and we understood, and our indicator that we use has already confirmed that we are looking for a bearish move. So these are the trade setup where you are seeing these blue boxes here. This was our first trade setup that we had. When we saw this three-wave move structure here, this is where we first short here. We got another three-wave move structure again here. This was our second short here. If you can calculate from these highs here, from the very first trade that we had here, we've dropped about 712 pips move to the downside, and this is where we did compounding here. So when we were here, we will see that from here we've already dropped about 477 pips already here from our second entry here on a US dollar chief. But all in all, we are still looking for a bearish move to the downside on a US dollar chief. Nothing has changed, especially that it is positively correlated to the DXY. So if we're still calling the DXY to drop, that will mean we are expecting that this should drop again. But I know somewhere around this area here, somebody might be wondering, what do we expect from here? Yes, I want to see this one dropping from here around this area here, but might not be a surprise. It has made what looks like a three-wave move already here. This being a three-wave move here, it can drop from here, but again, be mindful of this. This could have just made a three-wave move here or a five-wave move to the upside here, and this is only going to drop in a three-wave move, and then maybe we see one more leg up here, and then this becomes your A, your wave B here, and then we get this to be our wave C before we can get this one to drop. Right, so that is just a structure that might play out on the Elliott wave, but obviously we look at a lot of things. We look at the correlation. If there's a structure like this on a DXY, then be careful on that one. On the US dollar chief, it might play out. How the US dollar, yeah, again, you can refer to our social media pages and our previous videos. We've been talking about this one here, that we are looking for this move to the upside here on the Audi US dollar before we can look for a big move to the up down side. We are still expecting that this is going to make a move to the upside here on the Audi US dollar. But what we've seen here, that this has made what looks like a five-wave move. Now you're gonna be careful of this. If this is a five 5 wave move a year. Now, bear in mind that I've also pointed out this on your on your pound US dollar and also on the euro US dollar as well, and also on the DXY. So you gotta be careful. Don't just go and buy this a year, because there is a possibility that this might give us a pullback. It might be correcting a cycle from this low to this high here, meaning that this might be a complete 5 wave move to the upside a year. This is what I've been telling our members a year before we took some time off, that we need to be careful. This might be completing a 5 wave move, only to find out that we get this one here, maybe to give us something like this 3 wave move structure, one more leg lower, and then we have this as an ABC structure here before we see a move to the up side. If this does play out like this, unfortunately, if it just makes a move from a year, then it won't be tradable, because this looks a bit impossible here. So that's why I'm saying I'm looking for at least a 3 wave move structure to be clear, only for a trade execution. But other than that, the market does not owe us to give us this 3 wave move structure here. It can just make a move to the upside from here. But if it does play out this 3 wave move structure here, we will be looking for more buying opportunity against this swing low here on your Audi US dollar. Right, so New Zealand US dollar again a year. I've been showing this one on our social media pages, and I've can even refer to our previous videos, that how we have been able to trade this. We forecasted this move from this swing low here to this high, that we were going to get this move to the upside on the New Zealand US dollar when we are around this area here. But obviously, that was just a forecast. Okay, now I'm gonna show you that when it comes to trade execution, this is what we had here. We have been able to get like two opportunities here to trade our New Zealand US dollar. The first one was here when we had the CPI from here to around this high. This has already given us about 505 pips move to the upside here. Not just that alone. Again, when we got around this area here, we saw this 12 move, landed right into the blue box, and it also gave us a very nice move to the upside here, which was almost about almost 200 pips. We got about 284 pips move to the upside from here, but there was almost a 200 pips. Very nice move to the upside that we've seen on a New Zealand US dollar here, and we are still anticipating that against these swing lows a year, we should be seeing a move to the upside. Yeah, whatever happens, again, be mindful, because we could be having this one to have only completed the 5 wave move to the up side. Okay, so this could just be a one, your 2 year, your 3 year, your wave 4, and then this to be your wave 5. So you have to be careful with just buying this a year, because this could, again, just like what we had on your Audi US dollar year, that we get this to be a 3 wave move structure year before we can see a continuation move. That is very possible. So please be mindful with that one. Don't just blindly buy this a year, but I'm looking for any pullbacks in 3711 swing to be a buying opportunity to the up side. US dollar CAD, obviously, we wanted this to make a move to the upside a year, but it has dropped lower here. I've said this one several times. You can refer on us on our previous videos. I won't even discuss this, but structurally, if you look at this and if you look at what is happening with the rest of the US dollar pairs, we know that US dollar CAD is a based US dollar pair, so it's very likely that this might drop. Hence, we are expecting that the rest of the other US dollar pairs continue the move to the upside. This might drop first, maybe come back, take even these swing lows a year before we can expect to see a move to the upside. Yeah, obviously, there's no clear through move structure that we are seeing here, but if it does, for whatever reason here, that we see something like this, a one more leg up here, if it's gonna be a through move structure, then we're gonna be looking for this, that this must still drop to the downside before we can expect to see a move to the upside on US dollar CAD. Right, so let's have a look at US dollar yen. So US dollar yen, we have been looking for a short move to the downside all along here, and from these highs, this has dropped over 1,200 pips move a year to the downside, and I'm still expecting that this is going to drop. This looks like a complete 5 wave move to the downside here. This being your 1, your 2 here, your wave 3 here, your wave 4 here, and then this to be a wave 5 a year. Obviously, might not just be a clear one. I know when you learn Elliott wave, they will show you this clear 5 wave move structures a year. When it comes to the live market, it's never just this clear line that you see here. But this looks like it has completed a 5 wave move to a downside, so we could be having this one. Not a corrective structure that I love to see on your wave too, but we could be having this to have made a 335 structure. Yeah, this being your flat correction completed with the 335. Now, if that's the case, this might be a very nice one for a big drop to the downside. Yeah, especially if it can drop. Check out this swing low, yeah, and it pulls back in a three-wave move. So obviously, it needs somebody that is going to be very patient. Yeah, but I'm looking at this that against this swing high, yeah, anything's below this, yeah, we are looking for the bearish move to the downside on your US dollar JPY. Pound yen, looking at this one here to have made a five-wave move to the downside as well, just like what we are seeing on your US dollar JPY, five-wave move to the downside. Now, this is not going to be clear yet. Hence, I'm saying that we could be having this one completed a five-wave move here, three-wave move to the upside, three-wave move pull back here, and we're having this one to be a five-wave move. So we could be having this one here, this being a wave one, we have this a wave two, and then this might start to drop to the downside here. Obviously, you don't need to just short this here on the market open. You need to get some confirmation. You could be using something else or another trading strategy, so but just get a confirmation that this is ready for a drop. Like I always say, we use a special indicator that tells us when the market is ready. Now, this looks good here technically when you look at it, that it is completed that 335 structure, and we are expecting to see a bearish move to the downside here. Right, so euro yen, and nicely corrective stuff that we are seeing here. If you look at this one, it has made a drop to the downside here, and look at this, made a nice three-wave move to the upside here, three-wave move pull back to the downside here, and then we just saw another three-wave move to the upside here. We could be having this being your W here, your wave X here, and then this to be your wave Y that is complete. Now you just need to see a confirmation here. Get this one to drop lower here, check out this swing low here, pull back in a three-wave move like this here, then we're going to be looking for a short against this swing high. So we are looking at this one that it will eventually drop here, but the structure looks good here to have completed this WXY corrective structure. So we're going to be looking for more bearish move to the downside on your euro yen. Right, so we're not going to be covering all the yen pairs, but as for US dollar JP, chief yen rather, we are expecting that this is going to drop, but you got to be careful. US dollar chief is still missing something or one more leg to the downside before it can make a move to the upside. So chief yen, as much as I'm expecting that this must drop, but look at this. High, high, yeah. Now, if this does not take out this swing low here, expect that this must still give you one more leg up based on that US dollar chief here is not done with the move to the downside, so we might be getting this one to make a move to the upside. But for some reason, if this starts to drop lower here and then start to take out these swing lows here, then we might start to look for a confirmation here, and then we are going to be looking for a short move to the downside. So you're gonna be careful with this one here. You don't have to just immediately jump into a trade here. KDN, the very same thing here. Would be nice if it can at least trade below this trend line here. If it can trade below this, obviously I'm looking for this to drop to the downside here. If it does this, this will be my confirmation. Get this one to break below this here, and it must pull back a year. Then we can look for this move to the downside. Yeah, obviously structurally we've been looking at this to be our wave one, meta wave two here, and we are looking at this to be very something like this a year as a diagonal a year that is this being your five-wave move a year, and we're looking at this to be a pullback, and we're looking for this bearish move to the downside. It's not clear right now, so it's just worth tracking it here, but it does not look clear right now. But I'm looking for the bearish move to the downside eventually on your CAD yen. New Zealand yen, we've spoken about this one before, does not have the right look, obviously, but it would make sense if this was to give us at least one more leg lower. Yeah, structurally, I've been looking at this, that it made a move to the downside, three-wave move to the upside a year. I have been looking at this to drop, at least in a three-wave move. Can it be done with this year being a running flat? Yeah, it can be done. This should have been a running flat and then make this move. Yeah, if it does break out this high here, then forget about this one to drop lower. But it would be nice if this can drop a year, at least give us one more leg lower here. If we can get this, then this is the only time I'll be looking for a long move to the up side. But obviously, if this start to drop this year, this is still very tradable, because I would expect that it might drop all the way to the downside. That will mean an impulsively move here and then a correction that we see here, then that's the only time we can start to look for a short before we can see a move to the upper side. Obviously, positive correlation to your Audi yen here. Again, would still be nice that against this swing high here on your Audi yen that we see one more leg lower here, dropping it through a move to the upside here, higher here. Now, I expected that this was going to drop in a three-wave move structure at least back to somewhere around these swing lows here before we can see a big move. If it makes a move to the upside, take this swing high here, then we're only looking for pullbacks here. That will mean we are not going to get this one to come back around these lows here. But it is very likely that if it drop from here, pullbacks here and through a move, we look for a short at least back to around your 9200 area here before we can expect to see a big move to the upside on your Audi yen. Right, so Euro Audi, I've showed you this one before that we are looking for this one to drop to the downside a year. Obviously, I've said this one that we're gonna be careful yeah, as much as we are looking for a big drop to the downside, but the market could be done. Say, I'm done here. This is a three-wave move structure here, and I'm already done. But how do you see that this is already done? Yeah, obviously, if you didn't know, this high here should not be tagged. If you can get this tag here, that will mean this was all the three-way move here, the corrective structure here, and this will be ready for a move to the upper side. But obviously, hence I'm expecting that your audio to make a move to the upside here would make sense that we have when we see audio making that move to the upside, then we have these Audi paired pairs or the Audi code pairs that they give us this drop to the downside. I'm looking at this one here to be a nice three-way move structure. Even if it's something like this here, then I'm gonna be looking for a short move to the downside. But like I've said it, once it starts to take this higher here, then we're just looking for the pullbacks. If we take that high pullback, then we're looking for a buy here. We're not gonna fall in love with that bearish view. Euro New Zealand, obviously, it is positively correlated to your Euro out here. Again, this somebody might look at this here to be a three-wave move. If it's a three-wave move structure like this here, then we might be seeing this move to the upside here. But against this swing high, for now, I'm still entertaining that if this pulls back in a three-wave move structure here against this swing high here, then we are looking for this short move to the down side. But just like your Euro Audi, if it take this high here for whatever reason gets around this high here, then we look for pullback. Then we can start to look for that buying opportunity to the upside. For now, I'm looking for more bearish move to the downside here. Eurocat, I've showed you this one before here. Even before we had we went out for the holidays or time off, we had a very nice short move that we saw here. Obviously, it was a month of December, so we're looking for the short move to the downside. But we have been looking at Eurocat that it should drop. Now, I've said this one before that this could be the trade that you need for 2024. This could be the only trade that can make you money. That's only if it does play this year. Now we've seen an impulsively move, five-wave move to the upside, no doubt about that. Drop lower here in a five-wave move, and then this became a three-wave move. Move lower here, and then this being an impulsively move. Now I'm looking at this to have only been an expanding flat corrective structure here. After this to have been your wave A here, this being your wave B here. Now that will mean against this swing high, we are very likely looking at this to be a wave one. This might be just something like this. Maybe trade higher, be a wave two, and then it dropped in a three, and a four here, and a five. If it plays out this structure here, then like I've said it, this could only be the move that you want to have in the 2024 because we would be expecting a move that is similar to this one a year. So whatever number of people that we have around this area here is going to be the very same number of people that we are expecting once we are done with this five-wave move here for a C-wave move. So watch out for that one on a EuroCAD. Obviously, it does not, it might not play out overnight or over a week. It might take a couple of weeks or months to play this one here. But if you are able to observe this one clearly here, I'm expecting a very nice move to the upside that is going to be equivalent to this one, like I have mentioned. For now, expect more bearish move to the downside. So if we do see an opportunity for this drop here, you can. This is still very tradable. It can still sell this year, even if it at least you target this year. This is still a very nice move here. It should be about over 300 to 400 pips a move to the down side. That's if we do get this one a year before we can look for a big one a higher here. Again, Euro Chief, I've spoken about this one several times. I'll show you this one. The last trade setup that we had on the Euro Chief a year, it was for a bearish move to the downside. But I've shared this one several times that we could be having this one to be a five-wave move. This being your one, your two here, your three here, our four, our five. This would be now wave A here and a B here, and we're looking at this to be our wave C. I've said this one that we could be having them to be wave A here, this to have been wave B here, and look at this to be wave C. That is what we have been looking at. I still expect that this is going to drop here before we can see a move to the up side on your Euro Chief. Now, let me show you again here, like I've said it, the last trade setup that we had on your Euro Chief, that was just a giveaway, to be honest, here, because I've said this one several times that after we take this swing low here, we take this swing low here. Remember that we had a trade set up before the drop. We're looking for this buy, and it did not play out. It was invalidated. But now the market gave away. It gave us a very, very, very clear idea. When it check out this swing low here, we said this is a bearish confirmation. All what you wanted now was for the three-wave move structure here. Before we took some time off, we had this three-wave move structure here, and then we said this is going to drop simply because of what happened here when we took out this swing low here. Now you would see that this has already traded lower here from the air of a blue box. It has traded lower here, about 284 pips move to the downside here, and we still expect that this is going to drop to the downside on your Euro Chief. But there was a very giveaway trade there, and it was very clear. Hopefully, you guys were able to get it as we were able to get it at trading waves. Right, so Euro Pound again here, we had a very nice trade setup that we had here with Euro Pound. We were looking for this one to drop lower here, and this is still very expected that it is going to drop lower here. Maybe let me show you this on the daily time frame. Why do I expect this to drop? Simply because of this structure here. We've had a move to the upside here, no doubt about that one here. And now we are getting this one to be a structure here. Now this has made three-wave move to the downside here, to the downside here. Maybe we look what maybe made what look like a connector here, but this is still missing something here. We still need to see this three-wave move structure here. Okay, so we might be having this one here, probably to be your W here, your wave X here, and then this to be your wave Y here, somewhere around this area here before we can see a move to the upside. That is just something I'm showing you on a daily time frame. So at least take this one back, look for a short until this one gets to somewhere around your 8200 or even somewhere around your 8000 a year. That's when I will be interested for a buy. Let me show you this. The trade setup that we had here was for this bearish move to the down side. It has eventually played out a year very nicely, but this is a trade setup that we had. We spotted this a year that it has been into the air of a blue box. Here we were simply looking for this to be a three-wave move structure here, and we wanted this to drop. Okay, now this has already dropped here. It is playing out. We are still expecting that this is going to still continue with the bearish move to the downside here on your Euro Pound. So we are simply waiting to see, can we get some three-way move pullback? That's if we do get those, then we are still looking for more bearish move to the downside on your Euro Pound. At least I've shown you what I'm referring to then. Pound RE, I still wanted to see this here to drop lower here because we are looking at this to have made a drop here in a five-wave move, nice impulsively move to the downside here, and this made what looks like a triangle here. This being your A, your B, your C here, your wave D here, this to be your E, and then it drop. Now, if this was to come somewhere around this area here, for whatever reason, then we're gonna be looking at this in two ways. Once it take this here, okay, let me put it this way. I don't expect that we're gonna get the price to come around this area. Yep. But we are not being in denial that this could be done with this three-wave move structure here. Instead of getting to the 100% or the equal legs, then this might have just terminated at the 0.618. If that's the case, that might mean it's time for a move to the upside here. But what is going to be our approach? That if this is ready for a move to the upside, we're gonna wait and see if the price can get here. Once the price take this swing high here and then it starts to pull back in a three-wave move,
then we will know that we are very likely that it's time for a big move to the upside here on your pound Audi. But again, you gotta be careful. Don't just say because it take this year, then we immediately buying it from here, because it can't just take from it can't just do a take here, drop here over here, and then just make this year be a structure here. Check this high here that I'm referring to, and then only to find out that it is a running flat corrective structure, and then it immediately drop. So that's why I'm saying it's gonna be critical that you wait for this, take this high here, pull back in a through a move, then you can look for the buy. Because if you just say it take this high, I'm buying here, then it might just drop and then complete this through a move structure here, be running flat before we can see a big buy. So you gotta be careful with that one. But other than that, would be nice. I must say that if this can still drop one more leg lower here, made a 5 wave move. This is a 5 wave move that we saw here, this being a wave A here. And I've even got some short videos that might give you an idea, just in case if you're not aware of this here. So look out for on our web page, on our YouTube page, for those pound Audi short videos there. Now this could be a wave one of a wave C. This becomes a wave two against this swing high. Then we get a 3 and a 4 and a 5 here, like this. Then we complete the ABC structure here. If you get this plus your Euro CAD that I've shared here, again, this is all the trade that you need in 2024. If you can get this to play out this structure here, then look out for a big move to the upside on your pound Audi. Obviously, that should be the same as well with your pound New Zealand. I still wanted to see pound New Zealand to be making a move to the downside here, because I've been looking at this to be an ABC structure that must at least come somewhere here before we can see a move to the upside. But again, this might not be done. Made a move to the upside, drop lower here. This might still come back and take this higher, only to find that we are having them in the middle here to have an expanding flat, get one more leg up here before we can see a move to the upside. But again, you do not have to say this is going to play out, because this might be done, yeah, only to find out that you're going to be left behind when this is making a big move, once you are still waiting for this year. So you need to be able to see if this is already done. Yeah, this is all the creative strategy you needed, and this is ready for a move to the upside. So you can also refer to pound Audi that I've just discussed there, obviously, because you're going to be watching this in a recording, that what could give you an idea if this is all the 3 wave move that you needed here, this is ready for a big move to the side, because it could be done. This should be your ABC that just does not get to the equal leg, instead it terminated 0.618, of which is very common, and then this is ready for a big one to the upside. But as far as it is, I must say, with your pound, with your New Zealand US dollar expected to make a move to the upside, so I still expected this is going to drop, because again, this could be your one, your two here, you get a 3 and a 4 and a 5, then you complete this A, B here, wave C here, then that's when you get that big move to the up side. Again, 2024, this could be the one that you are looking at if you are patient enough. Pound Chief, I've spoken about this one a couple of times a year. Obviously, we've had this one. Yeah, the last update that we might have was that we were looking for this long against this swing low. Yeah, eventually the market came here and invalidated the structure, but this still looks good. I'm still expecting that this is gonna make a very big move to the upside here. I still believe that your pound chief, it is in this move here. See this move to the upside that we saw here. I still see this as a 3 wave move structure that is completed, and we are gearing up for this big move. So watch out for this one here. Now, all what you need to see here, made a move to the upside, might not look impossible here. If this was to pull back in a 3 wave move against this swing door here, then look for that big buy to the upside on your pound chief. But it's very good looking for a move to the upside again. Again, let's have a look at your pound cat. I've shared this one a couple of times that I have been expecting this 3 wave move lower, 3 wave move to the upside here, and then this to drop in a 3 wave move here. It can still play out like this a year for a move to the upside here. But again, if this was to get to around this high here, forget about this leg to the downside. That will mean this is all the 3 wave move pullback that we needed here. Then this might be our wave one here, this being our wave two, and it's time for a big move to the upside. But at least you gotta have to wait for the price to get to this high. If it get to this high here, then forget about this leg to the downside. That will mean this is going to make a move to the upside from here. So we are prepared for both scenarios on your pound cat. But if it plays plays out this year, one more leg lower, get ready for this to come and take this swing low. Then you can look for a big buy that you can hold on for a big one. Yeah, imagine this. If this makes a big move to the upside, that will mean from this swing low, we've had about a 3,293 pips move. So if this was to drop all the way here, come somewhere around this area here, then we would be gearing up for the very same amount of pips here, which is this 3,285 pips. So if this does happen, then we're gonna be looking for a big buy and hold there on your pound cap. Right, so let's have a look at the commodities here. So we're not going to be covering those cross pairs. Let's have a look at the commodities here. Gold, I've been showing you this one. That I'm entertaining for the bullish move to the upside here. So very likely, I know a lot of people have been looking for a sell here for gold to drop. Can it drop? Yeah, it might drop. But I'm very focused on this invalidation level, I must say. Yeah, so if this can drop here, for me, that's the only time that it's going to be confirmed that gold is going to drop a year before it can see a big move. As long as gold is still holding above this year, then we could be having this one here to have made a 5 wave move here, a sharp 3 wave move structure here that is completed, and then this makes a move to the upside here. So gold, for me, it looks good that it is ready for another leg to the upside here. But like I've said it here, if it drop for whatever reason here, maybe it does not come to this high here, and then this might be a 3 move structure, and maybe it drop one more leg lower here. It's just that I've been looking at this to have made a move to a downside. Let me show you this. This is what I'm looking at. Hence I'm saying that I'm looking at gold, that it is ready for a move to the upper side. Made a nice 3 wave move to the downside here, a pull back in another 3 wave move here, and then it drop again in this 3 wave move here. So this, I'm looking at this to be a WXY structure here, and then we are looking for this move to the upside. Now, if this is going to be the case, that will mean gold might even do this on the lower time frame. If it plays out the 3 wave move structure here against this swing low here, then we're gonna be looking for a big buy to the up side. But if it drops lower here, then that will mean we are very like having this 1, 2, 3 here, a 4 here, with 5 obviously, a diagonal here, and then this being our wave A here. Then we have this here to be our wave B here. Then we have the one more leg, our wave C, but still against this swing low here, then we will be expecting to see that move to the upside. But if it goes as far as around this swing low here, then it's time to expect more bearish move to the downside before we can see a move to the upside. But this is very good looking for a move to the upside on your gold. Silver, on the other hand, obviously this looks good for a move to the upside here. Now, I've looked at this several times. I'll show you this here. And if this does happen, okay? Now, I'm looking at this here to have made a 1 year, a wave 2 here, and obviously to have made a wave 1 here, and then this to have been our wave 2 here. Okay, now I'm expecting this is going to do a 3 and a 4 and a wave a 5 to the up side. Now, if silver was to come to around this swing low here, that will mean we are going to see the commodities or gold and silver, it is going to be very choppy for quite some time. Why do I say that? If you look at this from here, this was in May. Okay, now when it goes to around this area here, this is in October here. So that will mean the time that was taken from here to this point might be the very same time that we might see from here to somewhere around this area here. So the months that we spent here might be the very same month that we're gonna spend here before we can see another leg to the upper side. If you are not sure about this, maybe this will be more clear here, because I'm looking at this here that it made this 3 wave move structure here drop here in a 3 wave move, made a drop, a drop lower here, pull back, and then made this drop. So now this could just be a 3 wave move structure here, and then this just drop again in another 3 wave move here, forming the W here, the wave X here, and then this to be our wave Y. So that would mean this time that was taken here might be the very same time that we might see here, or we might see silver spending here before maybe we can see another leg to the upper side. So this swing low here, it is very critical for me that it should not be taken, so that we maintain this being a 1-2-1-2 here, and then we get this one to at least make a move to the upside on a silver. So I'm expecting that this is going to eventually make a move to the upside here on a silver here. Even if it dropped, like I've said it, this is going to be a critical level for me. That 2185 area here is going to be very critical, that it must not be checked. All right, so platinum rather here. So platinum, we are seeing this one here to have made a three-wave move to the upside from here. Remember that we have been focusing this, that this was going to make a move to the upside from here. We're looking for that big one here. Now, so far, it has made this here what looks like a three-wave move. But if it doesn't, if this swing low hold here, then we are looking at this to be a wave one, this to be a wave two here. Then we could be having this to be a wave one here in another degree, and then this to be a sharp wave two here, and then this makes a move to the upside here. But if we take this swing low here, that will mean we might see more bearish move to the downside on the platinum before we can expect to see another move to the upside. So just pay attention to that invalidation level. Once it get to take this swing low here, that will be a different story on your platinum. But for now, I'm going to be entertaining for the move to the upside. Brand crude oil, we've been talking about this one here, that it is very likely that it is going to give us a big drop to the down side. So we are still entertaining that bearish move to the downside. Yeah. Now, two things we might see with the Brent crude oil, that it drop from here, or we might see something like this, maybe drop lower here, one more leg to the upside. If that's the case, that might mean we are having this to be a leading diagonal here. 1, 3, 4, 5. Wave 4 coming into the territory of your wave 1 here, then we might be having this one to be a wave 1 here, and then this just become the three-wave move structure here. That will mean we might see a little bit of a move to the upside before we can see a drop, but there has always been a critical level for me. Once we get this three-wave move structure here, then we're still looking for more bearish move to the downside on your Brent crude oil. Right, so let's have a look at the indices here. I've been talking about this one on the indices, that we should be seeing the indices eventually getting to the all-time high. Nasdaq still missing to get to the all-time high, but I'm still very looking forward to this year. That this is going to eventually get to the all-time high. Yeah, so we have been talking about this. These are the trade setup that we've last had on the indices when they made this trade move structure. Yeah, so we've been holding on that this must get to the all-time high. Yeah, now we've seen some of the indices like your DAX, your Nikkei, your Nifty, they've been to the all-time high, and like I always say, that the ones that are lagging, they will eventually get to the all-time high as well. So I'm still expecting that your Nasdaq should eventually make a move to the upside here. I know a lot of people, when they saw this drop here, they were looking for a big sell, or some were selling already here, but I'm expecting this will eventually get a move to the upside. This was just resetting here. I'm still expecting this is going to make a move to the upside. The very same thing here with the Dow Jones. Still looking at this one here, that it has already been to the all-time high on this one here, and I'm expecting your Nasdaq will eventually follow here. So we are simply looking to see, can we get these three-wave move structures here? Once you get something like this a year on your Dow Jones a year, that's if it does happen, then we're simply looking for that bullish move to the upside. Nothing has changed on the indices. S&P 500 a year, we are seeing this one. It is still yet to get to the all-time high. We just left with a few points a year, but I'm still expecting this is gonna get to the all-time high again. So from this low, I've been looking at this to be a one, your two. So I'm looking at this 3, 4, 5 before we can get a bigger pullback, which is in line with this year. Remember that we have been looking at this to be our wave one, this to be our wave two here. So we're still looking for the wave three to be completed here before we can talk about the wave four, and then the last leg to the upside to be our wave five. So the indices, they are still looking good for a move to the upside. DAX been to the all-time high here again. This was a nice trade setup that we last had here on the DAX here. We're simply looking at this one to be a three-wave move, a move to the upside. Now we've just seen another three-wave move structure here. That simply tells you that it's the continuation move to the upside here. So if you have not been paying attention, DAX has made a very nice three-wave move structure here that came right into the area of a blue box. This was another trade setup here. We're simply looking for this one, that it should continue with that big move to the upside. UK 100, I've been speaking about this one here, that as much as it has been lagging, but eventually it will follow what is happening with the rest of the other indices. We have been here. This was the last trade setup that we had. Three-wave move. We're looking for this bar here. Already made a nice move to the upside. Trade running risk free. We are still expecting that even if this does this, we are still looking for this, that it will eventually make that move to the upside on your UK 100. I will show you again the last trade setup that we had here on a Nikki, where we were looking for a move to the upside. Yeah, let me check if I'm gonna get this one here quickly. I will show you here on your Nikki. Let me see here. I'm just trying to get this one here on the other side here. Let me see this. So this is what I'm referring to here. So Nikki, this was the trade setup that we had here. We're simply looking at this to have made a nice three-wave move here. We're looking at this move to the upside. So this is the move that we were expecting, or we were looking for on a Nikki here. Now you'll see that they posted it on the 8th of December. So look at this. This made a very nice. Now let me show you this here, because I shared this on the 1 hourly time frame. So this was the trade setup that we had. Let me just bring back my labels here so that I'll show you. This is the trade setup that we had here on your Nikki. We were looking at this one here. That's the previous chart that I showed you. This is a chart that we were looking at for the move to the upside on the Nikki, and eventually this played a very nice move from the blue box. This has already made a very nice move to the upside. We are still looking for a big one to the upside here on your Nikki. So the indices, like I've always been saying, that we should eventually see those big moves to the upside. And Nifty, I've showed you this one, the last trade setup that we had when we saw this three-wave move structure here. When we saw this three-wave move, this was the last trade setup. We are still expecting that this is going to give us a very big move to the upside here on your Nifty. And lastly, let's have a look at the at the cryptocurrencies here. Bitcoin still looking very good here for a move to the upside. If you've been following this here, we've been talking about this, that we should see a very big move to the upside here. As for Bitcoin, still expecting that this is going to make a move to the upside. A little bit of a move here, and then we're going to be looking for this, because we've been looking at this to be a one, a two here, your three that looks complete here. Now we are looking at this to be our four, and I will be looking for more bullish move to the upside on your Bitcoin there. As for Ethereum, very good looking for a move to the upside. If you've been following this here, we have been calling Ethereum for a move to the upside around these swing lows here, around $1,500. We've been looking at this one, that it should still continue with the move to the upside, and does not look like it is going to pull back anytime or trade lower here. So we're still looking for this move to the upside. So if it does give us this pullback here, at least against this swing low here, we are simply looking for more bullish move to the upside on your Ethereum again. Litecoin, the very same thing here. We've had a very nice bounce to the upside from these lows here. So we are simply looking at this one here, that if it does that, you get this pullback here against these swing lows here, we're simply looking for that continuation move to the upside or your Litecoin there. As for Ripple, nice three-wave move structure that we saw here. After this move to the upside, we saw this three-wave move structure here, drop lower here, pull back here, drop lower here. This was just a simple textbook setup. Made a nice move to the upside here, and we are still expecting that Ripple should still continue with a very big move to the upside here. Right, guys, from my side, that's all what I wanted to share with you. Please trade safe and responsible. Once again, I wish you guys a very happy new year and a very happy, peaceful year. Now, if you like our content, please do subscribe and make sure that you smash that like button and your bell notification, that it is turned on, that when we release that free content, at least you are notified. All right, so cheers, everybody, and have a good one. Bye bye.